night, wherever you are. And this is a monumental day, and we woke up into a vastly changed political world. Not the way I would have had it played out, but there it is. And last night I went into a place of real deep despair, and everything seemed awful by the degrees of just the darkness I was in. And this morning I woke up and I was in shock, and then my dog started whining. It was time for her to have her run, and I take her out into the wilderness. She gets out of the car and she runs for about 1.5 miles every morning, and Lucy wanted to go, and so I did. And so and on that journey to exercise Lucy, by the way, she is the one person I've coached for years who sticks with the program, and she's in her I don't know, she's a pretty old dog now, and she's in great shape, so she's good. So, and I realized then that everything that mattered to me yesterday matters to me today. Everybody and everything I loved yesterday matters to me, and I love them more today. And I think that we need to treat everyone with great kindness and respect that we meet on the streets, in our families and our friendships, whatever their political persuasion, whether they're very happy or they're feeling down and out. And it made me realize that my mission, which is the transformation of human consciousness to ever wiser and more creative and more loving and more spiritual and more encompassing, is more important today than it was yesterday. That's how it feels to me. And I feel renewed and a dedication to continuing what we're doing here at iAwake, and continuing our work together, and to continue my practice. And somehow it seems more important. And one thing I've realized that's come to me in the last, I don't know, several weeks, which I knew before, but it's becoming more of a reality, that any political plan or imagined future or philosophy that does not include a practical way of interior development for human beings is going to miss the mark, okay? And I'm not saying interior development is more important than exterior development. I'm saying it's equally important. So we have to pay attention to not only, taxes and healthcare and this and that and all these other things, but we have to continue to develop as human beings, and we have to give our children and ourselves and those who come after us the tools necessary to do this noble work. And I think the election was based on anger and fear, and we have to acknowledge that and honor that. People are angry and scared, and we need to be kind to one another and reach out to everyone we can, and it's very important. And I'll tell you a little incident that I'm not proud of, but I was up in Sandy, Utah, near Salt Lake. We took Louis, you guys know, was our business manager for iAwake. I took him up to the airport, and I was up there at PetSmart buying food and stuff for Lucy and my dog. And a woman came up to me, and she worked there, and she said she was advertising this pet hotel, where when you're traveling, you can leave your dog. And she said, "Oh, and we have obedience training too." And I said, I said, "Well, I have, my dog has godparents here that we leave her at that love her dearly when we have to travel and can't bring her with us." And I said, "Oh, by the way, do you have that obedience training for wives?" I said snarkily, with my sharp wit, unthinkingly. And so she laughed, and she said no, and she laughed and went down the aisle. And then it hit me. I said, "My God, an incredibly ignorant, sexist thing to have said to a woman, you know? And I just was overwhelmed with shame in that moment. So I pushing my little thing of dog food around, and I found her back, and I said, "Excuse me, I want to apologize. I said something that was so offensive and sexist, and I'm so sorry." And she said, "Oh, it's okay. I didn't think twice." And I said, "I did. I thought twice, and I just want to apologize. I'm very sorry." And she looked at me, and she just reached out and touched me and said, "You're such a gentleman." And luckily, I had my sunglasses on, so she couldn't see me tear up and begin to weep. And I said, "Well, that's one of the nicest things anybody's ever called me, a gentleman." So in especially times like this, I think we need to reach out, and we need to apologize, and we need to touch people around us as we go deeper into our own truth and our own goodness, because it's all there. And now more than ever, we need to wake up, show up, grow up, clean up, all that stuff, right, on a daily basis. And everything has changed, and nothing has changed. All the eternal verities, everything that was real yesterday is more real now. And that's where I am with this. And I crashed and burned. It seems I've come out the other end. And we had a couple of conversations with people, and one in Germany and the other in Dubai. And some really great things are happening in other ways. And it was very inspiring. And thank you, God, for giving me that this morning. So I'm glad to be here with you. And I'll shut up. And if anybody would like to share where they're at or have anything to say or comments, questions, whatever, I'm open to listen. I'm sorry, what was that?
This is the first time I've been on this call.
Oh, well, welcome.
Thank you. So I've been using the, what's it called? Brainwave entrainment. I started sometime this year, but I've been using it every day for about the last 5 weeks.
Good for you.
And I first came across your work from Scott Killaby.
Right.
Scott. And so I just wanted to tell you what I was using, and if anybody's got any suggestions about how to combine with the tracks that I've got. So basically I'm using the deep recovery track because I'm dealing with addiction issues. I've been using the deep recovery one, and I just downloaded the PMP starter kit, and that came with the flow state. And I also bought the Reasonance one a few weeks ago. So I've been using the deep recovery every day, and sometimes using the first PMP track after that. And then on my journey to work, I've been using the flow state.
And how has that been? What's going on? How's it been working for you?
Well, I've noticed that I seem to be more resilient. Seem to be dealing with stress better.
That was my story. I told you I crashed and burned last night, and this morning I woke up. I can't believe how the resilience is big. My wife can tell you how resilient I've become compared to what I used to be before I started doing this practice. I would go down and stay down for a long, long time, and now I'm to come back very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, my story is one of relapse with my addiction.
Yeah.
I first went to treatment about 16 years ago, and I can't say I've successfully put an end to my addictions. Yeah, but I've been using the tracks and nutrition, organic food. I saw a naturopath. Been doing exercise as well. I've read your book as well, which I really enjoyed, the Integral Recovery book, and Guy's book as well.
Great. So just talked to a guy the day before yesterday. He's a wonderful man. Love him a lot.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of inspiration from those two books, and now it feels like it's okay to be in 12 steps as well, because I went to hundreds of 12-step meetings and never seemed to be able to end my addiction. And I thought about never going back to 12 steps. That it didn't work, but I'm using it in conjunction with all the other stuff now. So I've got a lot more hope and commitment.
That's brilliant, and that's just the way it works, and that's just how I intended it. To not oh this is it, and that's not it. It's yes and yes and yes and. The brilliance that the 12 steps and support groups have brought into the world is a thing of a great beauty, and we can add a lot of stuff to that to make it even better. And it's like we're never perfect, right? We'll fall on our face and we'll relapse and we get up again and we keep continuing. If you can keep with the practice that you're doing, the nutrition, the exercise, and the interior growth, then I don't know if our addictions ever go away completely. So they go poof, and sometimes people have reported that, the desire to drink, the desire for porn or whatever, the addiction is, whether it's behavioral or substance addiction, sometimes seem to go away. But oftentimes it's like when you first, I remember, and this is not news to you because you read my book, but you go into an AA meeting and say, hi, my name is John, I'm an alcoholic. Your regular, hi, John. And that's a very true statement. If booze is kicking your butt and you've lost your power to control your consumption and you're just, going downhill. However, when you get to the point where, in developmental psychology, I think Robert Keegan from Harvard says that the subject of this level, the current level, say I'm an alcoholic John, becomes the object of the next level. So I still have the addiction, but it's no longer the controlling subject. It's no longer the I. So you can say, hi, I'm John. I have an addiction, but it's no longer controlling me. So the next stage of my evolution is much larger and contains it, but it's no longer controlled by it. So it's there, and it's something that can teach us wisdom, compassion, humility. Oh, by the way, I'm not perfect, neither are you. Wow, there's a deep truth, and so we move on from there. So I think with the continued work and on your own self-development, your own exterior and interior development, stuff we talk about in the book and Ken's been talking about for so long, that's exactly the path you need to be on. And it sounds like you're doing an extraordinary job. So have, great, deep bow, for the work that you're doing, and give yourself, a lot of credit. And
thanks. Have you got any suggestions for using the tracks that I said? The deep recovery, the PMP starter, the flow state, and the resonance. Any suggestions about combining those? Or
yeah, I think they're really nice. Resonance is it can be used with headphones or without headphones. And I was going to show you my office, but it's such a wreck right now. But anyway, I have big PA system in here because, among other things, I'm a musician, and I put on Reasonance, and it says in the warning, don't turn it up too loud. I mean, I did it one time, just experiment. Everything was just, your body's going, and Heidi had to run out of the room. Then I turned it down, of course. So that's a very nice, stimulating, full body practice. And I think you can use that, maybe not as your normal meditation interior practice, but just use that every couple of days or as you feel called to. I think it'd be really good for you. I think the PMP starter tracks are terrific. One of the meditation techniques that I use, and the flow state is also good, but those are things that you can use while you're typing, you're working, and stuff like that. But that, you can entrain while you're doing various tasks. Resonance is really good for that. But with the deep recovery, both the one that has the guided meditation on it and the one that's just the music, those are definitely very effective tools for inner prayer, inner meditation, entering into the stillness of your own interiors, and at the same time releasing our traumas, our hatreds, our wounds, our old stories that are no longer functional about reality, both the conscious ones and the unconscious ones that we inherited somehow, or maybe we built from our life experiences. So I hope that helps. Yeah, and I definitely feel that a morning meditation, put practice first. Okay, have your life be practice centric. Everything you do and you give to the world and your relationships comes from a deep, healthy interior relationship with yourself, and both little self and big self. So continue that, do that in the mornings. And if you find that, I think if you can, I think doing an hour of meditation in the morning is terrific. and you may have to go to bed earlier and blah, 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 and get up before, I don't know if you're married, you have kids or any of this stuff, but, before the household gets rocking, and do that work yourself. Also, when I meditate, I always have a piece of paper and a pen around. Other people would use a pad or a computer or something, but and some of the insights and some of the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing in the world will emerge from that deep kind of relaxing into the presence. And then, if you want to do another 20 minutes in the evening, that's a tremendous way to tap off the day. And and in times of great stress, as early recovery can be, practice more, not less. Okay. Oftentimes when, we get in stressful situations, we say, "Oh, I'm too busy, to meditate and do my practices and stuff like that." And well, that shows you're not a master yet. Okay. The master is the one who has mastered the art of practice, and you just keep doing it. So, Ken Wilber often joked, and now as we move into the holiday season, maybe even more so with everything that's going on in the country, is that if you think you're enlightened, go home for the holidays, right? All your plans and everything will be pushed. And my experience is I would meditate at least an hour and a half or 2 hours a day. I'd go off to my room and make sure that I was having time, so I wouldn't just be reactive and be part of the problem and create more problems in my very interesting familial mix. So is that helpful?
Yeah, it's fine. Thanks.
Yeah. So just keep it up, and remember, the master is the one who sticks with it. And to be a master of anything, you have to stick with the practice. And to be a master of your own interior, your own spirituality, your own self, you've got to do the work of interior growth. And thank God that we have these tools now. And you might, with time, when the light goes on inside, you might get PMP 3.0, the whole thing. So you'll have, that has like 15 different tracks, tier 1, 2, and 3, all delta. Tier 3, I did yesterday for an hour. It's so powerful. It's like, wow. And then, of course, you have the release tracks, which are more alpha, theta, and really good for just kind of bringing things back together from all the deep work and integrating stuff. And then you have 3 epsilon, which are even D3 and delta, that are very calming and slow, beautiful meditation tools. So I'd say let that be your next purchase. But I'm not saying you have to do it today, but I think that would be the next step as you want more tools just to really to deepen this thing. And after that, just kind of what I do now is, like, I don't know what tracks necessarily I'm going to use when I wake up, but I do kind of an interior check-in, or maybe the night before, and go, what should I use today? And that's how I kind of do it. And so in a deep place of stillness, and the mind comes, blah, 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 that's fine. Often I go through that in my meditation, and I get to a place finally by returning to the heart center and just coming back to a place of deep stillness and inner beauty, and it's there for us. And we may not reach it every time, but the more we practice, it'll be more consistent. And I think we'll also begin to notice that things, when you're not meditating, begin to shift. You're more resilient. Maybe you're more creative. You're a little happier. You see things a little more deeply. Maybe the unconscious tapes become more conscious, and you go, "Oh, I don't have to do that," And so anyway, it sounds like you're right where you need to be. And if you have any other questions, I'd love to support you in your journey of recovery and awakening and all this. So,
So, I can email you, yeah?
You betcha, buddy. If you want to do a private, Skype call too sometime, I'm totally open to that.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much.
Where are you in the world, by the way?
London,
lovely. Okay, it's a great city. Yeah. So, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Pam, I wanted to thank you very much for the World Kirtan CD. It's been like taking off like fire among my groups.
No.
Really, yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. That's lovely to hear.
Yeah. Even my friend in Ireland just ordered a bunch of stuff because of the World Kirtan. Also, I started with iAwake Technologies probably a couple of years ago, but then I got sidetracked onto another competitive. It seemed, they've got a program that goes from step 1 to step 12 or whatever. And I'm not sure that's, I've got a lot of your recordings, especially the Profound Meditation program. And the healing light, I've played that probably 300 times and have it as a background frequently. But in a couple of weeks, I'm going to either have to choose to go to the next level in this competitors program or get totally involved with iAwake. And Pam, I have to tell you too that I think it was 2 years ago, I accidentally sent an email to, I responded to your email rather than forwarding it to somebody. And you very kindly sent it back to me with a note indicating that I might want to send this to the person I intended it for.
Oh, that can't be for me.
I was deeply impressed by the personableness of iAwake Technologies and Pam and your relating to the customers in a very personal way. I appreciated that very much. So my question is, how do I know if I should just continue with the other program and take the next step, or move into totally using iAwake Technologies, which I feel more at home with you guys, John and Pam, than with the other group people, whatever.
Well, let me say, dump the competitors. Okay, no, I'm.
Yeah, right.
No, let me
I sort of knew you were going to say that.
Before I started this company, I used Holosync for 5 years, okay, and got great benefits of it, you know. And in the forward of my book, I thank Bill Harris, and you know, we started iAwake because we thought we were beginning to develop even more evolved technology. I would say this: if you're getting great benefits from Holosync and you want to complete the program, that's totally cool. You can also use Holosync at the same time using some of our stuff. I did that for quite a while. So I would just say, you know,
I'm not rich.
Okay, right. Your brain. Well, you now know that the CEO of iAwake, I can give you stuff for free. The power, I love it. Anyway, yeah, so we do that with people who can't afford our stuff. Anyway, so don't worry. No matter what, you will always get iAwake product. If you can pay, great. If you can't, we love you. It's okay. So we can edit this out when we record this later. John and Bruce will give it all away. No, so I think, and I assume you're talking about Holosync. I think it's a really it's a good program to help a lot of people. We have many people that use iAwake now that have moved on from Holosync, and we've been the next step. And, you know, because like you finish it, or, you know, what do you do? Or they listen to it and they go, wow, this seems to be more powerful and more effective. So I'd say, you know, you're in a really good place. You've got two things that are really good. And you can either, you know, use them together, or you can finish your Holosync program and come back to us, or you can say, to heck with you, Holosync, I'm going to go with iAwake, and bless them and thank them for all the good stuff they gave you over the years. So anyway, I just think pay attention to your own intuition, what you feel you should do, and you won't be wrong. Okay.
Okay. Well, here I am, iAwake. I will go back. I'm just finishing level 2 with Holosync, and at the end of this month. So I'm just going to go back to the profound meditation program, which I already have, and I have quite a few other ones too. Audio, what's that? Audio something.
You got a bunch of audio Serenity, audio Chi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Audio Serenity and the healing light and gamma bursts and the alpha, beta, delta, whatever those are. I forgot the name of that. I could look and see what I've got here. Digital euphoria, I love. Epsilon.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Harmonic resonance. That's one I listen to very frequently.
Yeah. Solar infusion, deep delta, those are all things that if you haven't tried, you have really tasty, wonderful, yummy tools to use in the future. It's a pretty vast library that we have at this point, and we're creating new ones. So, but you've got some great stuff to work with.
Yes, I definitely do. I don't always have time on Wednesdays. In fact, this is the first time I've had time to join you. But I wanted to, but I actually have to leave pretty soon because I facilitate a group, which I have to prepare for. So, but I definitely appreciate your work, and I think I'm going to just focus on iAwake from now on.
Okay, well, you're a delight, Barbara. Thanks for being here with us, and let me know if you need any help or support in the future. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks for everything you do. And all of the people who are watching too, go for it. We got to do something to counteract this elections, to I don't know, to respond positively to them, to the election, rather than divisively.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So I have to leave. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that's awesome. Anybody else?
I just got a quick question.
Yeah.
The PMP it's called Biofield Technology or something.
Yes.
So I've read that if you hold it in your hand, it works like acupuncture or something. And whilst you're doing your meditation practice, it can release trauma, right?
Uh-huh.
Does the deep recovery have the same technology?
No, deep recovery. That the one you're talking about, that was Eric Thompson created that, and deep recovery is Lee Spusta, one of our other creators who created that one. And I actually discovered him before I discovered Eric Thompson, and I was using Holosync. I was using various different technology that were available back, I don't know, 10 years ago when I started doing this thing. And I found Lee's place, and I listened to this particular track, and I went, holy cow, this is so powerful. And listening, I got the inspiration that I wanted to do a voiceover, dealing with recovery, because that was my main work at the time, integral recovery. And so I contacted Lee, and he said, yeah, sure. So anyway, I bought 5 books on guided meditations and all of this stuff. I was going to really read on it because I'd never done it. And then I said, what the hell? I put the headphones on, and I got a piece of paper, and I wrote it. It just all came out in one sitting. The whole meditation, just like the meditation itself was guiding me. Then we went to the recording studio, and I just read it from the paper that I'd scratched it out on, and it became this really, really beautiful track that I shared with a few people. But then iAwake was born, and I forgot about it. And then later on, I went back and said, oh my God, we had this thing we created long before iAwake was even an idea, and we released it, and it's been a tremendous track. But no, there are different algorithms, and there's different ways of entrainment that Lee uses that Eric doesn't. So, but it's
so I don't need to be holding my phone when I'm listening to the deep recovery.
I mean, you can test out. I've never really thought about it. I usually don't, or sometimes I do if I'm on an airplane or something where I don't want to drop my iPod down a crack. I'll hold on to it. But no, I don't think necessarily you have to be doing that.
But the PMP, when you hold it in your hand, there can be some subtle energy work going on there, but then again, it's very subtle, and you may feel it or you may not, just depending. I know that I've been doing this type of meditation for a long time now, over 10 years, and I noticed that I am much more sensitive to subtle energy now than I used to be. So I can sense it in my body if I pay attention at any point. And so, yeah, it's certainly not going to hurt you, and you may notice an effect or you may not. So just experiment and see how it goes, Daniel. Because it says in the manual.
Daniel, just to add, so the deep recovery doesn't have biofield technology, and profound meditation does. Just so you're clear about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, because in the manual for the PMP starter kit, it gives instructions to hold it in your hand, so because it has an effect.
Then. Then go. Yeah, do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have done. Yeah.
And the subtle energy ones, those are. I mean, Eric says that if you want to listen to them through speakers or whatever, that you can turn the volume all the way down, and you're still going to get some effect from the subtle energy. So, might want to experiment that and see how it feels.
Yeah. Just a side note. Is there a recording of yours and Scott's talk on your website? Because I think it was on Scott's website, but it's disappeared. You did a talk, didn't you, with Scott?
Yeah. So what's the question?
Where is that talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go look for that. That's right. I'd forgotten they did that.
Yeah, that's right. It was been quite a while. Would you like us to post it again somewhere? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can't remember if I listened to it on your website or Scott's website.
Yeah.
But I went looking for it on Scott's website and I couldn't find it, so I don't know which one it was. But
Yeah, we might post that on YouTube, Pam. Yeah. Scott's a great guy.
I haven't got access to YouTube. I've cut off a lot of the access to the internet.
Yeah, right. So, anyway, thanks, Daniel, and I hope that was helpful. Any other questions, comments about the state of the cosmos or your practice, or should you hold this thing in your hand, or anything along any of those lines is all good. And yeah. And do we have what's coming up that we want to announce? I don't know. We're sending out an email. The Superhuman Operating System with Ken Wilber course is going to be coming up soon. If you haven't done that, you should definitely do that. It'd be a great help with recovery from anything. And Ken is one of the great teachers of our time. And I think we'll be reading and listening to his stuff for generations to come. Also, I'm promoting a Finder's course with Dr. Jeffrey. Help me out here, Pam. Jeffrey, what's his name? Martin. That's right. I was going to say Master Jeffrey Martin. And I first got to know Jeffrey and his work when we were in the Spiritual Tech Talks, which you guys might want to check out. It was a summit where I dialogued and talked to creators of a lot of this transformational technology that's coming online in the world right now. And then we went to TransTech, Transformational Technologies conference last month in Palo Alto, California, and we got to meet a lot of the people that I was interviewing and to connect with Dr. Jeffrey Martin. Tremendous. I really liked him a lot, and so we're recommending. Pam's going to try to take the course too this coming, if our schedules allow, and so you might stay tuned for that. And basically, what he's doing, and he just created a brilliant video, but he's talking about Finder's course comes from the injunction of Jesus, seek and ye shall find. And so it basically made the point that for as long as human beings have had recorded history, or even the artifacts left behind by humans and even Neanderthal, we've always been searching for spiritual something. And the idea of waking up spiritually or being enlightened has really been part of our human quest for a very long time. But now, in this time where we have all the access to all the great wisdom traditions and all the practices, as well as understanding the brain and science, as well as the transformational tools, you put that all together and you work hard. And there's a lot of practicing involved in the Finder's course, that more and more of us can actually wake up in not just a temporary enlightenment experience or peak experience, as Abraham Maslow called them, but as a kind of a stable awareness that we can carry out into the world that just shifts everything. And in the old Zen adage, it says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. In other words, we still carry on doing all the activities that human beings do, but we just do it with a new awareness and a new context that is infinite in its embrace. So that's my plug for those two guys. They're both brilliant and well worth the time and the effort. And and it does take time and effort. Anything worthwhile takes a lot of work. And so I'll stop there. Any other questions or any chatted messages that we need to address, Pam?
Nope.
Okay. Well, good. Brevity is a virtue, I think. So love you guys so much. Thank you for showing up, and let us be here to serve you in any way we can, because that's what we're here to do. And we'll keep you posted. It looks like Pam and I are going to be traveling to Louisiana, legendary Louisiana, soon, to help take care of Pam's mom. And I did that with my parents the last couple of years, and so we're headed down to do that. And we may be in Louisiana for a short, brief period, or it may be longer. So the next time, well, not next time, but the next couple of times, you'll start seeing a different backdrop as we move down south to take care of family and to fulfill our responsibilities as human beings to those we love and care for. So anyway, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time, and keep practicing. All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.